time it is.
It's finally time to do some dancing.
Congratulations, Westside Patriots, on your three-peat state championship win.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12, live at 5.
Upcoming road projects, they could lead you to getting stuck in traffic.
And one of Georgia's largest economic investments now on hold. Those stories are coming up here shortly.
But first, we're tossing things over to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale, because there is some weather on the way and it could turn severe.
Yeah, Riley, what do we need to know heading into this weekend?
About 10 minutes.
Well, you just saw it there. The Diverging Diamond just now wrapping up in Grovetown. Another set of roadwork projects in Columbia County could affect your daily commutes.
Right. Starting Monday, widening projects for Fury's Ferry are set to begin. Our Hallie Turner breaks down what this means for you.
Next week, your normal commute on Fury's Ferry Road won't look like this. Instead, engineering says it will have a few roadblocks, all starting right here between Anderson Circle and Briarwood Trail at 9 a.m. Engineering says they're temporarily closing the road down so crews can install several storm drain culverts. Officials say Fury's Ferry is a two-lane highway with ditches. There are no curbs and gutters, but the new plan they are installing with 2 lanes on each side and a median in the middle will include gutters to help with the stormwater drainage. Crews will work on the road each day from 9 a.m. until 3:30 in the afternoon until Wednesday, March 20th. But this isn't the only closure next week.
The other closure at Evans to Locks Road will be in the right turn lane, and that's to demo the existing sidewalk and start building the multi-use path.
Coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're giving you a deeper look into these 2 closures and the role they will play in Columbia County's future.
In less than an hour early voting, thousands of future jobs are now on hold in Georgia after the EV company Rivian puts a pause on its future plant. In December, Governor Brian Kemp announced Rivian Automotive's commitment to a $5 billion factory in the state, but now the company is halting construction and moving to manufacturing its cars in Illinois instead. No word on how long the pause will last, but the company says that the move is to save money and manufacture its new line of cars faster. Georgia Labor Commissioner Bruce Thompson saying that this is not what the state had hoped for, but that not all is lost.
That project may not be a future Rivian project, but it certainly could be something else. Maybe it's General Motors, maybe it's Apple, maybe it's something completely different, but we don't like to see what happened, but at the same time, I don't think it was an investment or getting in bed with the wrong individuals.
The Georgia Department of Economic Development says Rivian is required to at least meet 80% of its $5 billion commitment and promise of more than 7,000 jobs by 2030 and maintain them through 2049. Rivian says it is committed to maintaining that timeline.
A bill that would protect Tybee Island from the chaos of Orange Crush now sits on Georgia Governor Brian Kemp's desk. For years, the city of Tybee Island has been overrun by spring breakers, but it's putting a strain on the island's infrastructure. A big pain has been unpermitted events that cost the city time and resources, like police officers. The bill now on Governor Kemp's desk would allow municipalities to hold promoters of unpermitted events accountable for financial costs and damages. The city is hoping it will help alleviate the problems this spring.
A group of Georgia state senators are pushing for change to support teachers and their students. A new bill could give funds to eligible teachers to purchase school supplies online, money that Senator Clint Dixon says educators and children could benefit from.
On average, teachers are spending anywhere from $400 to $600, and in some cases, depending on what subject they teach, it could be over $1,000 coming directly out of their pocket.
The bill would also mandate a universal reading test or screener for public schools. Teachers and lawmakers seem to agree having a universal screener or test would be another tool to better identify kids early on that need help with reading.
The grounds around the South Carolina State House are filled with monuments. They're commemorating the state's notable figures of the past, both famous and those maybe, well, more infamous.
But some lawmakers say it's time for a new addition to welcome a true South Carolina hero. Our State House reporter Mary Green has the details.
A bipartisan bill filed in the House of Representatives would add another statue to these grounds to memorialize Robert Smalls.
I just can't think of anybody else that I would go and say, hey, let's make
let's put a statue of this person on the grounds. So Robert Smalls was that person.
Robert Smalls was born into slavery in Beaufort, sailed himself, his crew, and their families to freedom on a Confederate ship during the Civil War, and later served South Carolina in the state legislature and Congress. This bill would erect a monument dedicated to him on the grounds of the State House and create a commission to figure out its design and location. Some existing monuments around the State House were paid for through private donations, while others used taxpayer money, and adjusted for inflation would have cost between hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars to construct today. The bill's lead sponsor, Representative Brandon Cox of Berkeley County, intends to fully fund the Smalls Monument through private donations.
To put Robert Smalls in South Carolina Capitol? Oh yeah, we're definitely getting money for this. No, I'm not worried about that at all.
Lawmakers also say they do not believe this bill would run afoul of the Heritage Act, the state law that prohibits the removal of certain historic monuments from public property without the legislature's approval. They say this legislation would only build a new statue, not tear down or alter an existing one. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
And this bill has strong backing from House leadership, including the Speaker. It just advanced out of its first subcommittee this week. It still needs to pass several more votes to reach the governor's desk.
Still ahead, we're breaking down the economic impact of events happening in our area and what this means for putting Augusta and North Augusta on the map. Riley?
And we stayed mostly dry today, but we got some intense rain heading our way tonight and lasting through a good portion of our Saturday. We'll have that first alert forecast just after the break. Weather, though, by Sunday.
All right, thanks, Riley. This weekend, a basketball tournament hosted by the Elite Youth Basketball League is looking to bring hundreds of thousands of dollars to our area.
Taylor Martin takes a look at how events are helping Augusta and North Augusta.
You may recognize the letters EYBL from Peach Jam, but this time 8 of the best high school basketball teams from across the nation are right here in North Augusta, and it's set to bring in an economic impact of nearly $245,000. Events like this one have a big impact on small businesses like Zach's Pizza, which has seen visitors come and go since 2018.
Every event that comes in town is helpful for us, especially any kind of masters or basketball tournaments or anything that happens here. It brings a little bit of business to us too.
This is the first time Nike is holding a Scholastic League tournament in North Augusta.
It's a new league that the Elite Youth Basketball Program came up with to try to crown a mythical national champion in high school basketball.
Destination Augusta estimates it will bring in $242,765 with 500 people in attendance. It's great for businesses and for parks and recreation facilities, as this is the first of 2 EYBL events in North Augusta this year.
8 teams times 15 players, parents, fans. It's always economic impact. These guys eating in restaurants, staying in hotels.
Giving you and the family something fun to do on the weekend.
For $10, you can get in the gate and watch 3 games a night at 5, 6:30, and 8.
Now, you've still got time to catch those games tonight and tomorrow. We have a full list of the teams and times on our website.
Well, how lucky are you? There's a scavenger hunt happening now over at the Savannah Rapids. We test your luck coming up next.
Ready to test your luck? Happening now over at Savannah Rapids Park is the Shamrocks in the Park scavenger hunt. You and the family can search the park looking for those 3-leaf clovers.
And if you collect them all, there's a prize. Wolvolk took on the challenge for us.
It's a walk to find shamrocks. Where could they be? Maybe in a tree, on a rail, or by the trail.
It gives our citizens and visitors an opportunity to come out and enjoy nature and understand what we have to offer here in Columbia County.
Columbia County Visitor Services Coordinator Vicki Mogilewski says they had a dozen shamrocks all over Savannah Rapids Park.
And they may be in trees, they may be tied to the bridge, or be somewhere around. And as you find each one, you'll notice on your sheet there's little clues.
The sheet is filled with fun facts about every place they hit a shamrock. She says it gives you an opportunity to learn about the park while exploring it.
People will come in, pick up their sheet here at the Visitor Center, walk around the loop, mark off when they find them, and then bring it back to us, and they receive a free gift.
Mogilevsky's basket is filled with all kinds of St. Patrick's Day themed prizes waiting for you after you finish your walk to find shamrocks.
It's a wonderful opportunity for the families to get out and have an activity together.
In Columbia County, we'll vote on your side.
And if you're interested, you can stop by the Visitor Center at Savannah Rapids Park until March 16th, and of course, it's free too.
Spring break season is now underway, and airports, they are already seeing a surge in travelers. But it's not much better for drivers. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of gas has jumped to $3.40. South Carolina's average, that's sitting at $3.13 per gallon, with Aiken and Edgefield counties hovering around that average as well. In Georgia, the state average is $3.20 per gallon, with Richmond County pretty much right there at $3.22. Emmanuel County, that's above the national average at $3.43. At least we're not in California, however, with some counties reporting an average of $5.70 a gallon.
I'd be walking to work.
Yikes.
I'm not paying that.
On the bike.
I would have a bike immediately. Well, also, just in time for spring break, some popular regional attractions are opening up for the season. Tennessee's Dollywood opens for the season tomorrow, as does Carowinds in Charlotte. Six Flags Over Georgia opened last weekend. Riley?
Well, for our weekend forecast, Sunday looks like the better day to be outside. We do have a first alert in effect tomorrow for the chance for that heavy rain and even some stronger thunderstorms. Another quick look at that forecast just after the break.
Folks, tired of what you see at all those other stores?
Come see Weinberger's Furniture's new accessories. Check out the selection that changes daily.
See our huge rug department. Buy a beautiful rug, and if it doesn't work, just bring it back.
Can't decide what you need? We have stress-free in-home design. Our experts help you create customized spaces you'll love, right in your own home.
Can you really get all this at prices better than the internet?
Yes, you can.
Yes. You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
Local parents fighting to keep a historic school open. We've got the latest on their efforts next.
But first, our weather team is tracking the chance for some severe weather tonight and heading into tomorrow morning.
First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale is here. And Riley, what are you most concerned about with this?
Guys, here just in Columbia County. Much more on that first alert in effect in just about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks, Riley. The school behind us, C.T. Walker, is in danger of losing its rich history if Richmond County's proposed master plan moves forward. C.T. Walker Magnet School would move from its historic building off Wrightsboro Road if this plan becomes permanent.
That building would turn into a rec space, and C.T. Walker students would move to the Tubman Education Center on Walton Way. Parents, let's just say they're less than thrilled about this plan.
Our Sydney Hood is live at 5 in our newsroom in Sydney. Walk us through how parents are doing and how they're fighting for change.
It's not just the building parents are talking about here. It's a community, and not just the school community, but it's the church next door and the homes across the street. Everything that makes C.T. Walker so special to those around. The building itself has history inside and outside the brick walls. History, culture, and community are reasons parents say they don't want this change to happen, and they are going to fight until the very end to make sure they stay put.
Now, we can pack up the books, we can pack up the tables, but you can't pack up that history and take it to Tubman. That history stays here. And if you knock this building down, you're knocking the history down. That's not cool. This is my fight. This is our fight. And I'm pretty sure we're going to win this.
And the only way to do that, parents say, is to speak up and attend these public meetings. C.T. Walker parents actually had their own meeting yesterday, but as we'll show you on News 12 at 6 o'clock, that hour-long meeting sparked even more motivation for these parents to fight.
No doubt, Sydney. We know a lot of parents very upset about this, and we know you'll stay on top of this for us.
The deadline has now come and gone for potential candidates to file their intent to run in November's.
An adult is facing charges after drugs are found inside a Columbia County school. Officials say this happened last night during an after-hours event at Lakeside Middle. School district police were called after what they say was an illegal substance was found in a handbag in a restroom. The school says out of an abundance of caution, the bathroom was decontaminated before classes this morning. The district says the suspect is charged with drug possession.
Action under the Gold Dome to protect all of Georgia's 10 historically black colleges and universities.
State lawmakers want to create a commission to find more funding for improving the campus communities. Reporter Abby Kasoris uncovers the history of underfunding driving these lawmakers to act.
Campus improvement projects like workforce development centers, broadband expansion, and even basic projects like paving sidewalks. The bill's sponsor says in the 4 years since she served here at the state capitol, she doesn't remember a single bill supporting HBCUs. Augusta, Savannah, Fort Valley, Atlanta, and Albany, all home to HBCUs.
Every single one of our HBCUs, no matter where it is in the state, is sitting in an underinvested community.
Senator Sonia Halpern chaired a Senate study committee over the summer investigating the underinvestment. Fort Valley State University is a land-grant university. Under federal law, the state is obligated to provide equitable funding. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona wrote a letter to the governor saying the state owes them more than $600 million.
It's never too early or too late to do something.
Senator Halpern's bill, Senate Bill 235, would create community improvement districts around these schools and a commission to look for federal grant money.
We know that there are other dollars that can be unlocked and other resources that can be unlocked through the definition of a district.
Like tax credits for housing developers or businesses looking to partner with schools. The bill passing in the Senate with a few dissenting votes, now it faces a vote here in the House. Senator Halpern is hoping to have some good news to deliver at HBCU Heritage Day next week. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasoris.
2 projects along the Augusta Canal are finished just in time for spring. The Augusta single track closed down in 2020 for repairs. It will finally reopen this weekend. For the people who led the push to reopen these trails, they say this is a dream come true.
We've heard numerous people say this is their new favorite trail, so it's exciting to hear just all the people enjoying it already, and we're excited to kind of celebrate the trail as a group this Sunday.
Coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, our Nick Veland breaks down the trail improvements and when you can stretch your legs out there yourself.
Well, heads up if you're in downtown Aiken, South Boundary Avenue between Whiskey Road and York Street Southwest is closed because of a giant sinkhole. Yikes. Here you can see that. The city says that while paving, an incident caused a cavity to form in the road there. It's now closed until further notice, so try to avoid that area there. Happening now, the Aiken Festival is set up at the Western Carolina State Fairgrounds. Though there are rides, food, and games for everybody, and even though the weather isn't looking too great this weekend, it will be in town through the 17th, and the 4th annual Columbia County Spring Fair will take place April 19th to the 28th. That will be at the Columbia County Fairgrounds, with proceeds benefiting the Children's Hospital of Georgia and several other local charities.
So get your umbrella ready.
Yes.
A local photographer capturing moments in time, and you might be one of his subjects without even knowing it. We'll explain why next.
And we do have a first alert in effect late tonight through most of our Saturday. We'll take a look at those threats and the forecast just after the break.
Time and temp.
Starting tonight, lasting through tomorrow. Back to dry weather Sunday, and remember, we do spring forward Saturday night.
All right, thanks, Riley. There could be a picture of you driving down I-20 on Instagram right now.
Okay, it's not as creepy as it sounds. Promise. Will Volk introduces us to one portrait photographer with a rather unique hobby.
When you drive down the highway, you may think you're just trying to get from point A to point B.
Oh, motorcycle! Sorry if I blew your mic.
But what you might not realize is you could also be a participant in Patrick Beastman's photo shoot.
It's kind of like a Pokemon, going to collect them all.
He's taken thousands of pictures of cars driving through Augusta and posted them on Instagram. Beastman got some of our news cars too. There's Ashley Campbell and Hallie Turner.
It's a good pastime. You know, it's a good way to burn an hour or so.
The big question is,
oh, here we go.
Why is he doing this? Beastman is is a portrait photographer, and he says this is a fun way to keep his skills sharp.
When it's slow but still wanting to, work the craft, I needed something to do.
By doing this for about a year, he thinks his skills have really improved.
I'm just trying to get better incrementally. So I think I'll do this as long as I can do this.
Oh, by the way, if you're concerned about Beastman posting embarrassing pictures of you, he says, don't worry.
I try not to shame people in any way, shape, or form. If you're picking your nose, I'm not putting it up.
On the side of the road, we'll vote on your side.
I love this.
So
and you know
good.
what? I love that the repetition has given him a boost in his skill. That's great. Practice makes perfect, right? If you're interested in seeing his work, his account is Panning Augusta on Instagram, and who knows, maybe you can find pictures of yourself there.
It is a terrifying scam, and it's so scary, many people who fall victim to it won't tell anyone. I'm Jamie Tucker. Coming up, I'll tell you what you need to know about this 10-year-old scam making the rounds again.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
It's Mark.
Breaking news live at 5. A man is facing a murder charge after a deadly shooting on May Street in Johnston last Saturday. SLED says Roscoe Poe Jr. is charged with accessory after the fact to murder. Arrest warrants say Poe helped Quinnell Anderson by driving him away from the scene of the shooting. Poe is now in the Edgefield County Detention Center.
An internet scam is scaring people out of their hard-earned money.
Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker takes a closer look and shares how to avoid falling victim yourself.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
Now, the first time I reported on the scam was about 10 years ago. It resurfaced in 2020, and then a frightened viewer forwarded me the email she received just last week. The scammer claims he purchased access to email accounts and logged into hers. In detail, he says he installed software that allowed him to record her phone screen and her face, and then claimed he recorded her as she looked at a porn website, and that he would release the photos everywhere unless she pays him $1,506 in Bitcoin. It's extortion, and it is a scam. Here's what you need to know. Cyber criminals do purchase usernames and passwords on the dark web that can give them access to email accounts, but this alone does not allow them to install software on devices and computers. They can install malware on a computer by convincing you to click a link or to enter something that will give them remote access. This is a scam. Don't fall for it. Do not pay, and do not click on a link or open an attachment. And you can often determine if something is a scam by doing a simple Google search. Scammers are too lazy to rewrite these emails, so they copy and paste them or send them as an image. So Googling just this line from the email shows results of the exact phrase and details on the scam. Glad I could help this viewer, and if you have questions, you can reach out to me through the What the Tech Facebook page. That's What the Tech TV. You can like and follow and send me your questions. That is What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Sextortion scams are a huge problem and largely go unreported. If you receive this scam, you're asked to forward it to the FBI. Well, the Westside boys basketball team's impressive run of success continued last night by completing the three-peat in Macon.
I'm just going to say that again. Three-peat.
That's so cool.
That's incredible. News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth joins us now, and he spoke with the head coach, Jerry Hunter, this morning to find out if their big win has even sunk in yet.
Guys, despite talking about this a lot over the past 24 hours, it's actually hard to explain how significant Westside pulling off a three-peat actually is. Winning state championships is not supposed to be easy, but Westside made it look that way by dominating Toombs County by 35 points, 64-29. Head coach Jerry Hunter told me when he got to Westside, he wanted to have a massive impact on this community in more ways than one. When you think about all the success our Augusta schools have had on the court in recent years, and the Patriots winning not one, not two, but 3 state titles in a row, things are changing, helping put Augusta's basketball teams on the map in a big way.
Your work ethic has to be developed. If a coach's work ethic is developed and yours is developed, then success is going to come. So, for all these championships to be here in this city, and we still, when it comes to being recognized as a basketball area, we still don't have that yet. But I think now with this three-peat, going to get some folks' attention across the state.
Playing with that edge and feeling like there's always a chip on their shoulders is one of the many reasons why Westside and many of our other local schools from and around Augusta have been able to play and earn all of these state championships. Once again, congrats to Westside on going back to back to back. Now, speaking of doing a lot of winning, South Carolina women's basketball coach Dawn Staley has been named the SEC Coach of the Year for the third year in a row. The top-ranked Gamecocks have gone back-to-back regular seasons without losing a single game, and with Coach Staley leading the way, the Gamecocks certainly have a shot to win the Natty this year. The SEC Conference Tournament starts tomorrow in Greenville.
All right, thanks for that, Dana. Remember, we do have a first alert in effect tonight through Saturday, but much better weather expected by Sunday. Just a little bit breezy out there. Now, a quick look at the forecast just after the break.
Here's a bit of good news for you. A South Carolina flamingo is back with his flock after battling cancer. These photos from the Greenville Zoo show the flamingo, who was diagnosed with a type of skin cancer on one of its wings, undergoing treatment.
After multiple rounds of radiation therapy and surgery, he is now cancer-free. He'll continue to get regular checkups to make sure that cancer stays away. He's specifically a Chilean flamingo, which is a species listed as near threatened. So pretty cool. I don't know how they found that in the first place. Must have something, and they figured out he had cancer and got rid of it.
A little surreal to see a flamingo in what
Look at that.
I mean, that's
I didn't know that was
crazy.
a thing.
And that one had some really pretty colors on it. Obviously, flamingos are pink, but that one had some like fuchsia pink on it. That was pretty. And glad he's doing better now. Hey, looking at SRP Park, we actually have some high school baseball action again tonight. They just wrapped up game 1. We got game 2 starting at 6:30. It's going to be Augusta Christian taking on Morgan County. So if you want to see some high school baseball, we're dry right now. It should stay dry at least until around 9 o'clock. Temperatures in the mid-60s. We got a good steady east wind, and you can see what's moving in as we get into later tonight, and that's going to be found through at least the first half of our Saturday. But evening plans do look mostly dry until we get to around 9, 10 o'clock later this evening. Temps will just gradually fall through the 60s as we get closer to midnight. Here's our severe weather outlook for tomorrow. So remember, slight risk across the entire area. Tornado threat looks low, but not zero. So one of those things where we're hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. Same thing with the wind threat. The real concern that we're worried about tomorrow is going to be flooding. And that actually, the threat for that starts late tonight and lasts through most of our Saturday. By the time we get to Sunday, we're back to sunshine. It is going to be breezy to end off the weekend, but really nice next week.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
This is not you.
It's not me.
Rain is never good for a wedding. Until now. If it rains 1 inch or more on your wedding day, Floyd & Green Fine Jewelers will give you your rings for free. So pray for rain and watch News 12/26 this weekend for the weather happening near you. Create your perfect room for entertainment.